Here. So, good morning, everybody. Today's January the 18th, 2023. So, in the chat box, I'm going to say good morning. And then there we are, Erica. If you can hear me okay, type hello in the chat box. Uh, Perfect. Thank you, Alex. So, January the 18th, weather's good. We're still here. And it's we're getting into back to work. Medicare season is kind of winding down or winding up, and it's warm, and everybody can get out and stretch and feel the weather. So we're lucky. What it's going to be a nice spring. It looks like. So I'm excited. I'm probably more excited right now than I've probably ever been in the insurance industry business, just because we've gone through the whole pandemic. We've gone through the wearing masks. We've gone through not being able to go to people's homes. We've gone through all of that, and we still are here. And you're in one of the most, I would say, rewarding in my mind opportunities that you'll ever be in the insurance business. I've sold insurance before. I've had my own property and casualty, my own Series 6, 63, farmer's insurance, home, auto, life, blah, 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 blah. All of them, healthcare, Medicare, but I've never, ever had the opportunity to get into a position to where I have a feeling where I can help people out so much. And if you like to serve people and you like to make money and you like to protect families, then you're in the right spot. At the end of the day, at the end of our career, at the end of our life, we're going to look back and go, what did I do? What did I do? Or how many people did I help? How many families did I protect? And as every year goes by, and even when the company asks me, what are your goals for this year? And what are your territory's goals and your people's goal? And I said, I don't know. I said, but I do know one thing. We're going to try as hard as we can to protect families, to serve our fellow human. And at the end of the day, when we lay our head on the pillow or we leave this career or whatever, there's still going to be people on earth with those policies in their hands. There's still going to be people that are going to be protecting their families. There's still going to be people with those opportunities to release that burden to their family. And that's why I do what I do. That's why I'm in the business. I've been in the insurance business for 23 years this year. And I finally am grandfathered in on continuing education. Thank goodness. But I've never felt as much joy in writing business as I do with final expense. So I hope you can get that joy when you do write policies and when you do protect people, because it is an opportunity that not a lot of people have. And they just go out there and sell stuff. They just go out there every day and sell things and sell you something. But when you think of the opportunity of serving people, and maybe you saw my training a couple weeks back, but again, kind of a flyby. But if you go into my tools box here, the toolbox, which at the top, if you don't know this, write this down, final expense life.us. That's final expense life.us. So I'm going to copy this up right here, and I'm going to put this over into the chat box where you can just copy right here and paste right there, and you can see that link right there. So copy that in there in your chat box, and you can put it on your phone, you can put it on your laptop, you can put it on anywhere you want to. But this is your tools. This is where you go if you were to work on a car, you were to work on bake something, work in your garage, you need tools. And I'm not very good at keeping my tools very straight, and do a lot of projects around the house, and I'm always looking for them, I promise. So I'm trying to get better at organizing my toolbox, because if you can stay organized, that means efficiency. That means you can find your stuff quicker. It means you save money because you don't go buy 4 screwdrivers or 4 pairs of pliers like I do. You have them all in one spot, and you can use them over and over and over, and you learn to put it back. But within this Final Expense Life, you see the weekly recorded trainings You'll see my YouTube channel. Please subscribe to that, because I think there's some videos in here that can really help you in your business, because that's what I'm here to do, is help you build your business. You're not an employee of Security National Life. You're a 1099 self-employed contractor and a grown person that goes and protects family. But I think this one right here, the building your business 5 people at a time, is probably one of my best recordings that I have. It's obviously getting quite a bit of hits, but I really like, and that's what I'm going to be really leaning on a lot in 2023, is helping and building your business 5 people at a time, which I won't go into. It includes talking to 5 people a day, and getting a no is perfectly okay by getting a no, because a no today doesn't mean no forever. It just means a no today. So how do we build that? And how do we come back 6 months later and go, hey, Lou, it's been 6 months. You told me no one time before, but I'm here for you now again. And what can we do for you now? And can I protect you? And can I help you out now? Because you've obviously gone through some things with your family in the last 6 months. What about 12 months from now? What about 18 months? And being able to document that and build your pipeline and build your opportunities. That way in 6 months and 12 months, you wake up on the 1st of every month or the 15th, and you have people to go see that told you no before, and now you're coming back, and those people are like, wow, Erica, you came back. Wow, this must be something to this, you know? You're back to see me, and there's either something important about this, and they're going to think about you. I shared last week again, and I'm going to share it again. I hope you can see my screen. I'm going to share it again because I think it's very, very important. This slide, and I'm going to keep hinging on it over and over and over until everybody sees it, because I think it's important. It was important to me. Let me read this out loud real quick. 48% of people never follow up with a prospect. That's 48%. 25% of salespeople make a second contact and stop. 12% of people only make 3 contacts and stop, and only 10% of salespeople make more than 3 contacts. Out of everybody on the line here, there's only one of you that's going to make more than 3 contacts, typically, but maybe not after seeing this. The second 5 sentences really tie this back up. I know it might be a little bit blurry. That's what I'm kind of reading. I'm going to try to get a better copy of this. 2% of sales are made on the first contact. 3% of sales are made on the second contact. 5% of sales are made on the third contact. 10% of sales are made on the fourth, and 80% of sales are made on the 5th to 12th contact. 5th to 12th contact. I'm going to look at you when you say this. Let's all be honest with ourselves. Let's all be honest with ourselves. I want you to be honest with yourself, okay? How many of us really, really follow up and follow through and work with a client? Oh, did you not see that, Lou? Did y'all not see that screen? Can you see? I did at the end. Okay. All right. So did you see the contacts? Hopefully y'all saw that. Okay. Let's be real. How many of us really follow through with a client, or continue to touch them, or continue to visit with them, or continue to try to reach them more than 5 or 6 times? Or do you give up? So if you approach your business and you're in the service business and you serve people, the approach is not to go out there and find the low-hanging fruit and is to heck with everybody else. It's to find everybody, to find the ones that need you now, and find the people that need you tomorrow. Find the people after 6 months to 12 months to 18 months and say, hey, I'm still here. Okay, I'm still here. I'm still here to help you out. Okay, so when can we talk? When can I take care of this? When can we do that? Okay, so that's what's important. That's what's most important right now and going forward. So keep that in your mind. Keep thinking about that. And I think watch that video, if you will, and we'll go there. Again, there's more of them, more videos here, and some things I'm going to be talking about today, how to complete the paper application. I did that 7 months ago, and I'm going to do it again today just to make sure y'all know how to put the paper application into play. All right. So again, tools section here. I'm not going to go into the tools section today because I'm going to spend time on the application, but a quick flyby. We can sell a policy in person with paper application, sell a policy over the phone. You've got a rate calculator. You've got all these tools in here for you, all the policies we have, your height and weight chart, your rate guide, your medication list, and it's all right here for you. All you got to do is upload, download, save this Final Expense Life to your computer, to your phone, to your wherever. The other website that I have is Final Training. If you're brand new, you need to go through these 7 steps, please. I think it will help you and it will grow your business and it will make you feel more confident and it will help you out. And some of these videos are a little bit old, but these are 7 steps that I believe are very important when it comes down to being ready to sell for Security National Life. Navigating the portal. You know, you've got your agent portal here, and it's very important to be able to navigate through it to find things. So you've got navigating the portal. You've got ordering supplies, which is very important to get your supplies and get your applications. 2 ways to sell a policy. This is what I'm doing again today, completing the paper application. I like to do things live. I think it soaks in better, but you can go watch these also. Underwriting, and then working your referrals and branding yourself. That's probably one of my favorite and one of my really hot buttons is working your referrals and branding yourself. That's very important in this business. I'm going to throw it again into the chat box. That way everybody can see this and you can copy it. Okay, so there it is, finaltraining.us, and you can have that in your chat box. Okay. So let's go. Where do we find applications? I'm going to share this. Sometimes it unshares. So I'm going to share it again, hopefully. All right. So I'm going to share my screen again. We go to the agent portal here. And when we go to the agent portal, you go to the left over here and you go to order supplies. So I'm going to go over here to order supplies and I'm going to go to applications here and I'm going to pull up my simple security plan application here. And we're going to walk through this one today. I'm not going to keep you long, so don't worry about that. One thing we don't have to have these days is we don't have to have the COVID questionnaire anymore. Yay! So that's 1 page you will not have to have, okay? So somebody say yes in your chat box if you can see my screen and if you can see this application here. So try to type yes if you can. Hopefully you can, and we'll see if we're going. Perfect. So we start off with the application, and there's one also thing I want to show you within your agent portal and within your applications, there's a cheat sheet. So if you see right here under contract completion brochure, you also have this cool little color-coded cheat sheet to where this will help you out, and it color codes different sections as to how to be successful in completing a paper application. And I challenge you as homework. You know, and Vanessa, great job on your policy. I saw that came in. I challenge you on your homework to go ahead and complete a paper application for yourself just for practice. You can download it. It's good practice. If you need to send it to me and show me, you know, you did it, and I'll scrub it for you. That'll be perfectly fine. Okay. But the simple security application, this is our bread and butter product. This is our policy that we write for people over 40 years old. And that's what you're mainly going to be writing right now is people over 40 years old. So you've got a simple security plan. So let's just kind of take this section by section. Obviously, you know how to do everybody's name. You know how to put a birthday in there. You know how to do height and weight. Very crucial that you get the height and weight correct, okay? Remember, I'm not going to go through it right now, but we have height and weight restrictions. I'll just go ahead and show you since we're already there. So when you go down to your height and weight right here underneath tools, you can see the height and weight chart. Well, you've got to make sure that your client falls in this height and weight chart, because this is the simple security plan. So you've got 5'8", they have to be under 274 to get preferred and standard. They have to be below 310 to get modified. Now, if they're over those weight limits, then we can go 5'8" and go to the security care plan and go all the way up to 355 pounds. And if they're over that, we can even go to what we call our MIB plan, and we can write them in that. And that's a growing plan. It's a growing and accumulating plan. So just always know this simple thing is that we can always write somebody no matter the height or the weight, okay, that we have there. Street address, this is your mailing address, so make sure you get a good mailing address in there. Insurance telephone number. Here we can also take the TIN number. So if you have clients that don't have social, we can either take the social number or the TIN number, or sometimes people call it ITIN number, identification number, tax identification number. The state they were born in, the owner's name. So right here, you have one person here. You can have another person as the owner. You can have another person as the payor, and you can even have another person as the beneficiary. And there does not have to be vested interest between those parties. So I could pay for, somebody's policy, and somebody else could be the beneficiary and somebody else could be the owner. Sometimes we run into situations where people think, well, I can't write a policy because all your policies gain cash value. And they do. Our policies grow, and I'll show you that, and gain cash value. And, oh, I'm on Medicaid and they won't let me have assets over X. That's fine. All you got to do is make sure that the owner, okay, and the owner is different than the insured. So basically what you would do in this case is the beneficiary and the owner would be the same people, and the cash value would follow the owner, not the insured. So there are ways around that. Okay. Primary beneficiary, if you have more than one, you have 2 or 3 or 4 running here, then you just add it to a different page on the back and submit it with the application. And you can split this however many ways you want. Okay. Contingent just means that in the case that the primary beneficiary dies before the insured or with the insured, then that would mean the contingent, the backup beneficiary, would get the money to take care of the business there. Okay. Off to the plan here. Okay, so we have 3 levels of our simple security plan. We have preferred, standard, and modified, and that's going to be determined by these sections that we're coming up to, section 1, 2, or 3. Preferred and standard are day 1 coverages. Just when you receive your policy and you got day 1 coverage, then you're obviously protected from that day 1. I'm going to stop my video so that maybe it will not glitch as much. So y'all keep, if you have any questions, throw them in the chat box. I'm going to keep going here. Premium. So we can obviously pay EFT. That's going to be your preferred way to pay. That's what you're going to want most of. Preferred EFTs. That way the premium is less and you get paid your advance and it stays on the books long enough. If they come across and they say, well, I've got a debit card. No. Let's use your account because it's less expensive for you. And at that point in time, you as an agent get advanced on it, and it stays on the books longer. We do take direct monthly bill. Okay, you can pay direct monthly bill, but you've got to go get a cashier's check and send it into the company, or a money order. So you would have to send all that over to the company, the first month's premium, and we won't start the policy until we receive that first month's premium. Debit and credit card. One thing we do take also that a lot of people don't take, we do take the Direct Express card. Okay, so that is the MasterCard that the government uses to put the money onto that the client will have, a Direct Express card. But again, try to get your EFT. Okay. Face amount, this is clearly where you're just going to go in here and put 15,000 or whatever it may be, a premium right here, you're going to go down to the next line and put your premium. Let's just say, I don't know, $52 or $50 a month. And you can add ADB, which is accidental death, and a child rider. So we do both. Okay, accidental death benefit can go all the way up to match the face amount. So if you want to do it, and some agents go ahead and do that no matter what, they go ahead and put 15,000 in there. And basically what that adds up to be is that some people will sell it like this and go, well, you've got $30,000 worth of coverage because you've got 15 naturally, and then you've got 15 more on accidental death. So that equals 30. Okay, so that equals 30 there altogether. All right, so you've got 30. So is the premium typically start of the first each month? Does it, okay, good question, Lou. We're getting to that one. Coming right up. Child rider here, you can go up to $10,000. $10,000 here, okay? And $10,000 on each children. And where you'll find that is down here on the application. You'll end on the child rider right here. You can put the children in there. Oh gosh, didn't mean to do that right there. Let's see if I can back that back out. So unerase. You can put the $10,000 there, and that will cover the children, no matter how many children there are. Okay, whether there's one child or 10 children, you can highlight. You can do the child rider. Oh, why it's doing that? Sorry, bear with me 1 second. It's highlighting. It's liking the highlight. Erase, 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 erase. There we go. Maybe. Okay. All right. So we got $10,000 in there for a child rider. So here's the billing. This is a very important section. So kind of pay attention here because this does make a difference here. This is a two-part question here. So you've got two things going on here. Does the proposed receive Social Security, disability, or VA? Yes or no? If they do, lots of times they get paid on the second, third, or fourth Wednesday. The second, third, or fourth Wednesday of the month. Okay, so that's very important where you want to choose that. If they don't, go ahead and hit no. But this is a two-part question. So here we go. We got part number 1 and part number 2 over here. So number 1 is that Mr. and Mrs. Jones, when this policy goes to the company, they're going to ask, do you want us to go ahead and draft the first $50, the first premium? So you got your 50 over here. They're going to ask, do you want to make this effective? Excuse me. Do you want to make this effective immediately? Yes or no? Yes, Keelan. Okay, perfect. We're going to make it effective immediately. $50 is going to be drafted out of your account or your credit card, and it will go into effect as soon as it is approved. After that, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, when do you want your next premium to come out? What is the best day of the month? I'm going to change this color. I like red better. When is the best day of the month to draft that next premium? Well, how about the 19th of the month? Okay, perfect. And that'll be next February. It'll be in February. We'll draft on the 19th of the month. So you draft immediately, and then we're going to draft on the 19th of every month. No, Keelan, I don't have money in my account. Okay, well, we won't draft immediately. I'll erase this, and then the first $50 will come out on the 19th. We can push out a date up to 25 days to 30 days out. So depending on when it falls, and that will allow you to, no matter if the client has money in the account or not, no matter if there's money in the account or not, we can still write the policy and draft it on the 19th, which this will be February, okay, coming up. That's actually 31 days, so we probably need to make it the 18th or whatever it may be. But you can push it out. So the question becomes, do you want that drafted immediately, yes or no? And then when do you want it started in the future? So it's a two-part question, and no matter what the client has, okay, but no matter what the client has, then it will be drafted in. So anyways, hope that helps out, Lou. Appreciate the question on that one, and we can go forward. So Draft on it, yes or no, and then select the billing date. All right. Replacement. The only time you're going to do a replacement, I don't really do replacements. The only time you're going to do a replacement is obviously if you are actually replacing one. Normally, I just tell the people, hey, listen, let's go ahead and write this policy, and then when the other one comes into play, we'll cancel your old one. Okay, so I just usually do no. Physician's name, you don't have to have this in here. You don't have to have this, okay? You don't have to have a physician's name. Nicotine, okay? Have you had any nicotine in the last 12 months? Yes or no? It's a simple question, yes or no. Now, we get down to section 1, and section 1 is our knockout section. We have to have all yeses in section 1 to get through, okay? So this is a knockout section. And I'm going to kind of go through this, I'm going to summarize this so it'll help you out maybe, so that you can summarize it. I just want to tell you what these kind of mean. Basically, question number 1 says that, hey, have you stayed overnight in the hospital within the last 30 days? So that's really all you need to ask. Have you been in the hospital and stayed overnight within the last 30 days? Okay, it's a simple way to ask that question. Number 2, within the last 30 days, have you had a seizure? So your keywords here are seizure and within past 30 days. Number 3, do you need assistance dressing, eating, transferring to or from a bed? These are your daily activities of life. This is not just, well, my kids come over and cook for me and get me some, breakfast or whatever. This is, do you need someone there constantly all the time? 4, do you currently have cancer, or within the last 90 days have you had cancer? If you've currently had cancer in the last 90 days or currently do have cancer, not skin cancer, but internal cancers, okay, then obviously we can write you, cannot write you within the last 90 days. Once you're cancer free for 90 days, then we can write you into our modified section over here. If you've had cancer right here over 90 days, and again, you're going to see this question come up on question number 10. When were you diagnosed cancer free? So if you've been cancer free for 1 year, you do a yes here, and we could write you a policy in the modified. But if you had it in the last 90 days, we can't. Once you've been cancer free for 2 years, we can write you a preferred policy. Okay, so cancer free for 2 years can go preferred. Question 5, we get the Alzheimer's and dementia a lot in here. So if you have someone you're writing in the 80s, 85s, 90, watch out for the Alzheimer's and dementia, because that does come into play a lot. So watch out for that. Sometimes we have hepatitis C in these. Okay, so take a look at those, and we do not write any organ transplants. Are you receiving dialysis? If you're on dialysis, you will get kicked off this policy, but we can get you a policy with an MIB, and an MIB plan, and I will show you that later. And then question number 7 is your HIV question. So really, you're just talking about hospitals, seizures, cancers, hepatitis, Alzheimer's, dialysis, and HIV. They get through all of this and they get no's all the way down here. That's good. No's, 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 no's. We're good to go to the second section here. Section 2. This is basically a diabetic question. So when you look right here, we're asking about diabetes. And basically, is this saying is, do you take more than 100 units a day? Because if you see the question down here on 15, it speaks of 100 units, okay? If they take less than 100 units, that's where this is going to be. And then you would put right here how many units a day, say it's 60, okay? And then this would be yes, if that's the case in point. If they're not diabetic, then it's just a no all the way across. And standard, remember, preferred and standard are still day 1 coverages. Preferred and standard are still day 1 coverages, okay? So day 1. Then we get into the next section, which is section 3. And this is probably the most important part of the whole application. The main portion, the most important part is right here where you actually get the medications from the client. Because without that, If you don't get the medications right from the client, the underwriter's not going to like you, and they don't. That's what your job is. That's what you're getting paid commissions for. So the main thing to do when you're writing a policy is make sure that you go in here and you ask the questions, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, what are you taking? Oh, I'm taking, amlodipine. Okay, well, what's it for? Well, it's for high blood pressure, and you do high blood pressure here. And then you look and see what medical question does high blood pressure have to do with. And it does not have to do with any question because we write it preferred, so it's not applicable. Now, if you get down here and you go into blood thinners, okay, then you're getting into, your warfarin or Coumadin, and then you're doing your dosage. Now, when you do your dosage over here, 10 milligrams or whatever, you're basically just asking the client how many milligrams is it, mg, mg. But over here on this part, this is basically asking how long have you been taking it? Well, 5 years, Keelan, 6 years, 3 years, 2 years, okay, whatever it may be, 2 years. So make sure you get your medications right and make sure you get and understand those. And again, you can find those right here in the tools under your medications list right here. Spend a little time. I'm not going to go through it today. Spend a little time looking through these, because when you do, you're going to learn that, oh, wow, we write high blood pressure is preferred. We write pain for preferred. We can write asthma preferred, but COPD is going modified. Our cancers, remember our cancer question, 90 days or less decline, modified preferred. A stroke, we can do modified, okay? Asthma, bronchitis, COPD is modified. So spend a little time, again, this is your business, and spend a little time in medications list. You don't have to memorize it or anything, just know it's there. And again, if you have this on your computer, you can hit this find button up here, and you can go in here and type in, let's see here, Crestor, Crestor, and it's going to come up right down here on the bottom. And you see this button right here. It's going to come up Crestor, it's preferred, and cholesterol. Okay, so you can actually search for it on the search bar. Okay, and take a look at it. But in here in section 3, let's go through this. And here is the way that this reads. Within the past 2 years, has the proposed insured been diagnosed, tested positive for, treated, prescribed medicine, or given medical advice by a licensed member of a medical profession for any of the following reasons? Now, if we read it this way and we take out a little bit of this right in here, then basically what this says, if we skip that, it says, has in the past 2 years, has the proposed been prescribed medicine? So yes, this is a 2-year look back window for most of our clients, but it's also, if they've been taking blood thinners for 6 years, it's still going to fall underneath your heart problems, Okay, so take a look at that. So you're asking those questions, how long you've been taking this medicine, because most of the things in section 3 are not curable. They're manageable. They're not curable. You'll probably always have them. They're manageable. Okay, let's just look at this. So let's pretend you're looking at a stick man, a stick figure or a person. Number 9, within the last 2 years, have you had anything go on with your heart? Yes or no? Number 10, how about any cancers? Remember, if you've been cancer-free for longer than 90 days, you put in there how long you've been cancer-free. Number 11, your noggin, your brain. Talking about brain tumor, strokes. Number 12, back to your heart again, circulatory enlarged hearts, angina. And most of the time they're going to tell you what they got, up front, and they're going to let you know. And I just pose the question as Mr. and Mrs. Jones, how's your height and weight? Is there any medical conditions? What medical conditions do you have, or what medicines do you take? And they'll tell you, well, I had a stroke. Well, I've got COPD, blah, blah, blah. 13 is all about your lungs. 14, your kidneys. We do write people that have kidney disease. They just can't be on dialysis yet. Okay, just can't be on dialysis. 15 is our diabetes. Watch out for neuropathy. A lot of people that are diabetic have diabetic neuropathy. The name of that drug is called gabapentin. Okay, the name of that drug is called gabapentin, and just look out for that. And then you do take more than 100 units of insulin a day. Okay, pretty simple there, 100 units of insulin per day. 16, Parkinson's disease. We get some seizures. Now, we do write people with seizures, as you will see right here. We can't write them with seizures. They just can't have had a seizure within the last 30 days. Okay. 17 is kind of a gray area question because lots of times you have people with mild, mild depression. Just make sure you go to your medications list and see if it's a major depression or mild schizophrenia or just ADD, ADHD. Okay, because the mild ones we can write preferred. It's just getting these major depressive stuff that we're looking at. Have you been advised to have a surgery you haven't had? Have you been put into a facility for drug or alcohol abuse? And do you use any medical appliances? Now, we're one of few companies that does write a policy for people that are on oxygen. So if you see a house and it's got an oxygen sign on it, don't worry, we can still write them. That's not a bad thing, okay? And wheelchair, walker, and hospital bed. All right, so that's the most important part when we look at it from a helicopter approach. And when I shrink it down a little bit, you've got your first section. That's when you're trying to make sure everybody qualifies. You got your second section, which is your standard people. And then you've got your modified sections. And hopefully we get all no's. One cool thing about section 3 is that you can have 3 yeses and still get a modified plan. Once you go to your 4th yes, then it's a kick out, and we have to go over to our MIB plan, which is our backup plan. Okay, our MIB plan and backup plan. All right. If you've got kids in here, just put the name of the kids. They cannot have any of these medical conditions, date of birth, age, whatever. Remember, you can write kids up to age 18, but then they fall off at 25. They fall off at 25. Okay, so the kicker is at 18 and 25. So write that down. Name and social right here, again, for the client. And then right here, you're just going to put what city right here that you're in when you're signing the application, dated, obviously. Here is the printed name, which you will print. You print the name right here, of Bill Jones. And then Bill Jones will come in here and sign as the insured. Now, if the owner is different, if there's a different owner, you're going to need the signature of the owner. Okay. And then you date those and date those. And this is just basically authorizing us to look at their prescriptions. Always be sure to answer this question: is the proposed insured a family member? You can write policies on yourself and your immediate family, husband, wife, kiddos, immediate family, but you will get paid as earned on those, which means you'll get a commission check every month when that premium is received. And a lot of times, some of y'all will actually make money off that. So I strongly advise write your own policy with us, because if you're not a policy owner, how are you going to, and you don't do business with the company, how are you going to propose somebody else does? It's hard to do that when you're not one yourself, because if they were to ask you, well, do you do business with this company? If you say no, I think you've kind of lost the deal. This will or will not replace any, because most of the time it's not replacing any. And then you'll have the agent's signature right here, which will be yours. And then you'll have your number right over here, which is your number. And then you print your name right here, Bill Jones, whatever. Okay. And then you get down to the next section, which is the last one. You're just going to basically put the information here. One thing to watch out for here is the payor and the customer are the same people. Remember, they're the ones paying for the policy right here in 3. This is your 3 person. Okay. So if I'm paying for Bill Jones's policy, I'm paying for Bill's policy, then this is going to be right here, Keelan. Selena. Keelan right here. This is going to be Keelan right here. Okay. And then Keelan will sign right here. Keelan Johnson. Now, this will be paying for Bill Jones's policy. Okay. So just kind of watch that. These people, this is always the same person. This is always, they made a mistake when they redid this application. They should have taken out this line, but it is always the same person. And this is the person cutting the check for Bill Jones's policy. Lots of times, Bill Jones will pay for his own policy. So that's about 80% of the time. So you'll have, in most cases, where that's a case in point. Let's see if I can erase that. Most of the time, it'll be Bill Jones up here versus Keelan Johnson. Okay, Bill, because he's paying for his own policy, and that will go Bill paying for his own policy here. Really key though too, did you get the checking account number? Okay, really key, you get the checking account number and the routing number. Remember that these two things, the routing number can be found just by Googling. You can Google up the routing number for any bank. It's public information. So if Mr. and Mrs. Jones says, well, I want to use my debit card, you're like, well, where do you bank at? Oh, First Savings Bank down there. Well, do you have your account number? Yeah, I got my account number, but I don't know the routing number. Well, that's perfect. I can look it up on my phone, on my computer, but always try to get that information. And again, the address for the bank is public information too. The name of the bank right here. So don't hound your client going, I need the address. I need the address. No, you can go look it up just by Googling it. Where's it at? You know, and you know, what's the name of it? And you can find the routing number. So all they have to have is their account number. They can find it off of their printout that they get from the bank that comes to their house, okay, in their mail. So really help them out. It's really crucial that you fill your book of business up with bank draft, and, you know, because it can come back and bite you. Even our number one agent of the year had some troubles with credit cards this year. So be sure and make sure you do that, okay, from my standpoint. And then you can go in here and tear this off. If you want to fill this portion off right here and tear it off yourself and give it to the client, you can. And you can just put received from right here and write it in, you know, Bill Jones, received from Bill Jones on the, you know, January the 18th, whatever it may be, 1/18. That's a little bit off there, but anyways, the sum of, you know, $60. And then what I would do normally is just come back in here and say, you know, drafting on third Wednesday, or drafted on the 10th, whatever you put up into the billing section. If you did take money, just write a little note there, and then just take it right here and sign, make your signature, and then do print your name, Keelan Johnson, whatever it may be, and then tear that off. You can leave that with the client, the conditional receipt, okay, just so they'll know what you did. All right, so rehashing all of this, scratching right here, you got your names, your owners, your payers, your primaries, the way you're going to pay for it, when you're going to pay for it, what dates. You don't have to have the physicians. We're not replacing anything. Tobacco, yes or no. Just your medical questions, the basic ones, in the hospital, seizures 90 days. Section 2, what about insulin? Section 3, over here, let's talk about anything with your body, what's going on there. And then we've got the next section is just all it is. Can we pull the medicines? Yes, no, sign here. And then this is your agent statement, and then the banking information, okay? So practice makes perfect, and practice makes you feel comfortable. So I challenge you to go through here and print off a paper application. And I also challenge you more than that too, to go in here and order your supplies. Again, take this one when you leave here, go into your new agent training and watch this one. It's real short, ordering your supplies, and that's going to walk you through how to go into your agent portal and go into ordering your supplies. So once you get in here, you've got applications. You can go in here and do English and Spanish for either one of y'all, any one of y'all that want Spanish, and you click your state, and this will take you through our application process. Security Care, MIB, Simple Security Plan, and Security Care. This will also take you to the brochures. These are the peace of minds. These are the presentation pieces. These are how to present the product. And if you're brand new too, you can go into this, how to present the product. If you go into my Zoom, if you go into my YouTube right here, okay, Then you can go into all my videos and you can go into presenting the product. You see this weekly training, presenting the product. That's going to walk you through how to use the funeral planning fact sheet, how to use the brochure when you get in front of someone and or over the phone. I'm presenting that. And then you can go on down and forms and general items here. Probably not many forms you need. We can go through that on a later date. Counselor evaluation form is very important. This is your referral form. This is what you actually ask them at the end of the presentation. Did it make you feel comfortable? Are you happy? Did I answer all your questions? And if I did, please write down some more people that I can talk to. Okay, counselor evaluation form. All right. So order your supplies, general items. There's some things here. This is the benefits, Social Security benefits, but don't worry about those too much right now. Okay. Don't worry about those too much right now. So we've got right here some swag. If you don't have an SNL shirt, grab you one. If you're brand new, you just got appointed, write your first policy within 2 weeks. You get a free shirt and $250 worth of lead credit. Okay. So it's very important. Very important there. All right. So again, jump through here, take your 7 steps. Remember your toolbox, finallyexpenselife.us. Remember those. Okay. Remember the YouTube channel here that you can watch and train and sharpen up on any tool you need. I'm going to go ahead and stick that really quick into the chat box. That way everybody can copy and paste that and look at those training videos on there. So I'm just going to end today by kind of ending it the same way I've been ending these things. Overall, 2023 is going to pose some great opportunity for you. People have been through the pandemic. People have known people that have passed away, family members. They may be even sick themselves. They may have even been close to, to death themselves and are scared to death. Okay, so let me check one here. Yes, Lou is exactly right. On the child router, it does make more sense for the children to have their own policy, because at that point in time, it grows. It's very inexpensive. We can write little policies. Just for example, you can write a policy on a 10-year-old kid when you go into the security care plan here. Make sure that I'm sharing my screen. Sometimes it jumps off of there. Okay. You can do a child rider here. A child policy. Let's say age 11, face amount $10,000 right here on select, and you can calculate it. And it's only $10 a month. Okay. It's only $10 a month. Okay. So a very, very inexpensive way for them to grow that policy. If the client if the client is a diabetic and they're on a non-insulin medication like metformin, it does still need to be noted, Lou, but it is a preferred policy. It will go preferred. So anything metformin is preferred. Insulin goes over to standard and modified. Good question. Okay, good question. Hope that kind of answers the question there. So 2023. They're looking for you. People need you. People want you. People want somebody to trust. People they've been bombarded with mailers. They've been bombarded with literature, and they want to trust somebody, and they want that person to be you, and they want you to take care of them. Okay. So how many will it be a month? How many will it be a day? Let's go start with 5. Let's just start with 5 a day. You have these things called cell phones, and I'll guarantee you, if I did this, and lots of times I do this on a meeting, you probably have anywhere between 2 to 2,000 people in this phone, because you've been putting people in there, and they're your friends, they're your family, they're your loved ones, they're the people you've met, they're people, just make it a habit of when you meet people. Hey, I'm going to call you and talk to you. I'm going to come back and I want to protect you. I want to be that person, because I don't want a day to go by and I don't want to be on that back pew. I don't want to be on that back chair of that funeral home or that wherever, or that church, knowing that I didn't ask you and knowing that I didn't care enough to try to protect you. I want to be that protector, and I want to be that one. I want to be known as the family protector across the universe. I want to be known as, hey, I need to call that person. I need to call that person. I need to call Lou. I need to call Lily. I need to call Alice. I need to call those people because they're the people that will protect me. 6 months will go by, 12 months will go by. And are you still going to be sitting there trying to figure out how to protect people? Or are you going to be bold enough to go out and say, hey, I'm the protector. I want to come talk to you. I want to come visit with you. Okay. There's a lot of companies out there that you may have other carriers, may have other people that you ride with. I don't know. But I do know this. If you get confident with one, you feel confident with one, you get branded with one, and hope that's us. If not, let us be number 2 or 3. Okay. I want to be there. I want to help you protect people. That's what I want to do the rest of my life, is to help you. I am your I work for you. You're my boss. And whatever you say, whatever you need, I'm going to try to get it to you because I'm the liaison. I know that's very important. Don't go to a benefit dinner for someone that passed away. Okay. Let's make sure that we ask those questions up front. And let's make sure we're the ones protected, and we're the ones that the family hugs the neck and goes, thank you so much for having the boldness to ask mom, dad, Meemaw, Pawpaw, Junior, are you protected? Because that's what's most important. Okay. So, hey, thank you for jumping on here for an hour and a half or an hour today and listening to me rattle on. Again, paper application, and join me tomorrow for another episode, 45 minutes worth of something. We'll see what it is, and a little bit of training. So thank you for jumping on today. Thank you for everything you do. And hey, as I always say in Texas, adios.